Have you ever felt that sharing too much with your family can sometimes do more harm than good? As we get older, we often tend to be more open and honest with our loved ones, believing that complete transparency is always the best approach. But the truth is, there are some things that are better kept to yourself. Not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. Not everything needs to be shared, and in some cases, keeping certain things private can help you protect your inner peace and maintain healthier relationships. In this video, we'll explore 5 things you may want to keep to yourself after the age of 65. This doesn't mean being dishonest or distancing yourself from your family. It's about preserving your independence, avoiding unnecessary stress, and ensuring your personal boundaries are respected. You might be surprised to discover that keeping a few things private can actually bring you more peace and freedom. Stay tuned until the end of the video because understanding these 5 things could change the way you interact with your family, helping you enjoy more freedom and clarity in your later years. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Financial decisions and personal assets. Money is one of the most sensitive topics as we age. You may think that being completely open about your financial situation with your family will help avoid misunderstandings. But in reality, it often creates more problems than it solves. Sharing too many details about your savings, investments, or future financial plans can lead to unwanted advice, pressure, or even family conflicts, especially when different generations have different views on money. Even when your loved ones have good intentions, their worries or opinions can gradually turn into interference. And in some unfortunate cases, when people learn about your financial status, those who were once distant may suddenly become very interested in your money. You've probably seen this happen before. A friend shares their financial plans with their children, only to be constantly questioned about every decision they make. You may have seen someone being pressured by their family to sell their home, invest differently, or save more for the grandchildren. Keeping your financial matters private doesn't mean being secretive. It's about protecting your freedom and maintaining control over your own life. Getting advice when you truly need it is one thing, but when others start to feel entitled to interfere with your personal decisions, it can quickly become unpleasant. And the reality is, once you've revealed your full financial picture, you can't take that information back. There's also the issue of personal autonomy. If your family begins to see you as someone no longer capable of making sound financial decisions, they may feel justified in stepping in. Sometimes with good intentions, but not always with respect for your independence. You might hear comments like, "Are you sure you should be spending that much?" Or, "Wouldn't it be smarter to gift some money now rather than later?" And even if no one directly pressures you, simply knowing that others are quietly observing and judging your financial choices can make you feel uncomfortable. This doesn't mean you should never discuss finances with your family. Having a clear estate plan and sharing necessary information when appropriate is important. But you don't need to disclose everything. The exact amount of money you have, how much you spend on yourself, or even a recent investment you've made, these are part of your personal financial management. If keeping certain financial matters private allows you to enjoy your life without facing unnecessary opinions or pressure, it's not secrecy. It's wisdom. But there is a difference between keeping your loved ones informed about significant health issues and causing them unnecessary worry over minor symptoms. Constantly sharing every small issue can lead to unneeded anxiety, stress, or even cause your family to start making decisions for you before it's truly necessary. You've probably experienced this before. You casually mention some joint pain or fatigue, and suddenly you find yourself caught in a debate about whether you should see a doctor, change your diet, or start taking new supplements. Keeping a few minor health issues to yourself doesn't mean ignoring your health. It means being selective about what genuinely needs to be shared. You should inform your family about serious conditions or anything that could impact them. But fleeting aches, occasional fatigue, or minor discomforts are often better kept private to avoid causing unnecessary concern. Loved ones, especially younger family members, often mean well, but their concern can sometimes feel overwhelming. Before you know it, they may start researching treatments, booking appointments, or even making comments like, "You really need to take better care of yourself," as if you haven't been managing your own health for decades. There's also a psychological aspect to consider. If you constantly talk about health issues, even minor ones, your family may begin to see you as declining more rapidly than you actually are. They might start treating you differently, seeing you as fragile or less independent than you feel. And once others perceive you that way, it can be difficult to change their mindset. Suddenly, they may hesitate to invite you to activities, worry about your ability to travel, or suggest you need extra support, all because you casually mentioned that your knee was a bit sorer than usual. Of course, sharing serious health issues is essential, especially when they affect your daily life or require family support. But keeping minor symptoms to yourself doesn't mean you're being secretive. It simply means you're protecting your autonomy. You have the right to manage your own health without unnecessary interference or worry from others. Sometimes staying silent is the best way to maintain control over your health and your life. Number 3, your true thoughts on family conflicts. Family relationships are naturally complex, and as we age, we often find ourselves unintentionally drawn into situations we never wanted to be part of. Siblings arguing over inheritance, adult children holding on to old grudges, or distant relatives who can't get along. These things happen in nearly every family. When you've lived long enough, you start to see the patterns repeat. The same old wounds resurface and past misunderstandings come back around. You may have clear opinions about who is right or wrong, or feel disappointed by the behavior of certain family members. But sharing your blunt thoughts often does little good, and sometimes it makes things worse. Taking sides can unintentionally pull you deeper into the conflict or make others perceive you as biased. You have every right to keep your true feelings to yourself. Not because you don't care, but because you value your own peace of mind. Trying to play peacemaker or expressing too many opinions can drag you into unnecessary drama, when what you truly want is to protect your serenity in your later years. Sometimes saying nothing at all is the best way to safeguard family relationships and maintain inner calm. It can be difficult to hold back, to resist the urge to offer advice or share your honest opinion about who's right and who's wrong. But in most cases, doing so only adds more tension. You've probably experienced this before. You try to be the mediator only to find both sides turning against you. Or you share a straightforward opinion, thinking you're being helpful, only to later realize your words were misunderstood or ended up causing unintended hurt. The hard truth is this: family conflicts often resolve themselves, or they don't, regardless of whether you intervene. And when the dust settles, people tend to remember the words spoken in anger. If you take sides or express strong opinions, the resentment toward you may linger, even after the dispute has faded into the past. This is especially important when it involves younger family members. Voicing your honest thoughts about your son-in-law, your daughter's parenting style, or a relative's lifestyle might give you momentary relief. But those words can stay with them for a long time. People rarely forget the feeling of being judged or criticized. No matter how well-intentioned you are, what you see as sincere advice may be interpreted as rejection or disappointment. And that can create an emotional distance that may never fully heal. That's why one of the wisest things you can do after 65 is to practice selective silence. You don't have to agree with everything or pretend there are no issues, but you also don't need to comment on every family situation. Instead of offering opinions, sometimes the best response is simply, "I hope everything works out," or "I trust you'll make the right decision." These phrases allow you to stay connected with your family without being drawn into conflicts that aren't yours to resolve. Keeping certain thoughts to yourself not only protects your family's peace, but also your own. Number 4, regrets about the past. As we grow older, it's natural to reflect more on the past. The decisions we made, the opportunities we missed, the roads we didn't take, all become memories that linger. Regret is something everyone experiences, but that doesn't mean you have to share every feeling of it, especially with family. Recounting the things you wish you had done differently can unintentionally make your children or grandchildren feel responsible or burdened. For example, you might express regret over not spending more time with your children when they were young, but this could unintentionally make them feel guilty, as if they lacked the love and attention you can never make up for. Or when you talk about a missed career opportunity, your family might start to feel sorry for you, even though that's not what you intended. Keeping some regrets to yourself doesn't mean you're denying your feelings. It simply means you're being wise about what's worth sharing. Some memories are best kept in your heart, rather than becoming an emotional burden for your loved ones. Because while the past cannot be changed, your present and future can still be filled with peace and contentment. You may sometimes feel the urge to talk about the things you wish you had done differently, whether it's how you built your career, raised your children, or the choices that shaped your life. But what you see as honesty or self-reflection can sometimes be misinterpreted by the very people you love most. When parents or grandparents express regret about the past, children and grandchildren can easily feel saddened or disheartened. If you say, "I wish I had spent more time with family instead of working so much," your children might hear, "I wasn't a good parent." Or if you share, "I wish I had been brave enough to move to a different city or pursue my dreams when I was young," they may unintentionally interpret it as, "Life with you wasn't as fulfilling as I had hoped." Even though that's not what you mean, those words can still leave your loved ones with feelings of guilt or sadness. The same applies when you share regrets about past relationships. Mentioning an old romance, even as a harmless memory, could make your spouse or children feel as though they were somehow second best. Recalling friendships that faded or opportunities that slipped away might unintentionally make others see you as someone stuck in the past. Instead of remembering you as strong and resilient, they might start to view you as someone filled with regret over their life. That's why, sometimes, regrets are best kept to yourself. You can reflect, contemplate, and learn from them. But talking about them too much in front of your family won't change the past. On the contrary, it may only leave those who love you feeling burdened or weighed down with guilt. The past cannot be rewritten, but how you carry it with you is entirely up to you. Instead of dwelling on missed opportunities, share the lessons and cherished moments you've gained. This not only lightens the hearts of your family, but also inspires them with optimism and a zest for life. 5. Your entire financial situation. Money is always a sensitive topic in families. It can bring people together, but it can also cause tension, misunderstandings, or even conflict. Sharing too much about your true financial situation can lead to unintended consequences. You might think that being completely transparent will prevent misunderstandings, but in reality, it often creates more complications. When your family knows exactly how much money you have, it can change the way they treat you. You may start receiving unwanted advice, such as, "You should invest in real estate." "You should give this amount to help your grandchild start a business." "You need to spend less and save more for the family." Even if well-intentioned, this kind of advice can quickly turn into pressure. You may feel as though you're losing autonomy over the money you worked so hard to earn. Furthermore, revealing too much about your finances can create unspoken expectations. If your family knows you have ample savings, they may subconsciously expect financial support from you, even if you don't actually intend to give. Of course, you should have a clear estate plan and share important financial details with your beneficiaries when appropriate. But you don't need to disclose your entire net worth or all your personal investments. How much money you have, how you spend it, or what new investments you make. That is your private matter. Keeping some financial information confidential isn't about secrecy, it's about wisdom. It helps you avoid unnecessary pressure and maintain your financial independence. After all, you worked hard to earn that money. You deserve the full right to decide how to use it without judgment or interference. As you grow older, you may feel inclined to share more about your finances with your family, whether it's the money you've saved, what you intend to leave behind, or even the financial struggles you're facing. While financial discussions are sometimes necessary, being too open can lead to unwanted complications. One of the biggest risks of revealing too much about your finances is that it can change the way people treat you. If your family knows you have a significant amount of money, you may start noticing subtle shifts in some relatives' attitudes. They might quietly expect financial support from you, or hint at what they hope to inherit. On the other hand, if you share that you're facing financial difficulties, your loved ones may become overly concerned or even doubt your financial management abilities. You may frequently receive unwanted advice, such as, "You should sell your house to reduce the burden." "You need to find a way to invest for better returns." Even if well-meaning, these suggestions can turn into pressure, making you feel as though you're losing control over your own finances. Another issue is the invasion of your independence. When your family knows too much about your financial situation, they may start making decisions for you without consulting you. You could be persuaded to relocate, cut back on spending, or even face pressure regarding how you use your money. Suddenly, every personal decision, from buying something you enjoy to gifting money to others, may be scrutinized or judged by others. However, this doesn't mean you should keep everything a secret. Having a clear estate plan and sharing essential financial information with your beneficiaries is a wise and responsible move. But you don't need to disclose your entire financial situation, how much money you have, how you invest it, or how you spend it. That is your private matter. Keeping certain financial details private is not about being secretive. It's about being wise. It helps you maintain control over your financial life and avoid unnecessary conflicts and pressure from family members. After all, your money is the fruit of a lifetime of hard work. You deserve the full right to decide how to use it. Ultimately, your finances are your personal matter. And by keeping some details private, you allow your family relationships to be built on love and respect, rather than material expectations. Conclusion. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 5 things we've discussed. Keeping certain matters private is not about being distant or secretive. It's about protecting your peace, dignity, and relationships. Not everything needs to be shared, and sometimes wisdom lies in knowing what to keep to yourself. Think about your own life. Have you ever shared something with your family, only to realize later that it unintentionally changed the way they saw you? Or have you ever chosen to stay silent and later felt grateful for making that decision? Experience teaches us that some things are better kept in our hearts. The beauty of growing older is gaining clarity about what truly matters: inner peace, independence, and the quality of your relationships. Being selective about what you share allows you to maintain control over your life while still staying connected to your loved ones. It's not about pushing them away. It's about preserving the things that make your bond meaningful. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one takeaway from today's video and how you plan to apply it to your own life. Your thoughts mean a lot to us, so don't hesitate to share. Reading your comments is a huge source of motivation and encouragement for us. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support will help us continue to create valuable and inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.